warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone, especially to Sir Ridwan. Thank you for having and teaching me for this semester in this subject, UBI 3232. My name is Muhammad Syahrul Izzat bin Muhammad Jepri with matrix number D2020096841.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to everyone, especially to Sir Ridwan. I am Joslina binti Lokman Hakim with matrix numbers D2020209705.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. My name is Nur Zahratul Umairah binti Zamri. My matrix number is D202020971105. I'm from Group H.
Hello everyone, my name is Alia Rashka binti Sari. My number matrix is D202020975542.
I have 3 group members, and today we will talk about origami. Do you know what is origami? Origami is the Japanese art of the paper folding. Japanese word origami itself is a compound of 2 smaller Japanese words, ori meaning to fold and kami meaning to paper. Until recently, not all forms of paper folding were grouped under the word origami. Before that, paper folding for play was known by a variety of names including orikata, orishu, orimono, tatamigami and others. Exactly why origami became the common name is not known. It has been suggested that the word was adopted in the kindergarten because the written characters were easier for young children to write. Another theory is that the word origami was a direct translation of the German word Papierfolden, brought into Japan with the kindergarten movement around 1880 years ago. Traditional origami consists of folding a single sheet of square paper, often with a colored side, into a sculpture without cutting, gluing, tapping, or even making it.
I would like to share a short history of origami. As we know, the origami is the Japanese art of paper folding, but the origin of origami may root in China. The Chinese invented the paper around 2,000 years ago in Luoyang, China, by a man named T. Zai-lun. The first folding of paper also happened in China. The Japanese traders saw this incredible invention paper and liked what they saw. They traded for the paper and brought it back to Japan. They also brought with them the first ideas of folding paper to make art. However, the paper was unbelievably expensive, so only the very wealthy or the religious could actually afford it. The first origami pieces in Japan were probably made by Buddhist monks who used them in their religious ceremonies as important symbols and offerings. The oldest forms of origami were something called noshi, is a decorative element attached to gifts. Origami then became a very trendy among the rich people of Japan. It was considered an elite skill. Paper was so rare and expensive that only the wealthy people can afford to practice the skill. People saw origami as an elegant activity for the rich ladies of the upper class. It wasn't until much later that origami became popular with normal people. In 1797, a book titled Secret Techniques of 1000 Grand Foldings was published, which offered basic diagramic instruction on 49 different forms of paper. Since the development of origami, its popularity grew and people from all over the world started to explore this paper folding art.
I would like to share with you guys about the difference between origami and Chinese paper folding. Heard about origami and Chinese paper folding? Wondering what the differences between them? Both origami and Chinese paper folding mostly famous all over the world. Are origami and Chinese paper folding the same? Although similar, Chinese paper folding and origami are not the same. You have been quite a lot interested about paper folding and traditional art. If people still wondering what is the differences between Japanese origami and Chinese paper folding, I'll give a small explanation then. First of all, the name origami is a Japanese term from the words oru, to fold, and kami, paper. In China, they call it 剪器. Another difference between those two countries is in China, you will find representations of heads and boats, mostly objects. While in Japan, origami art is more focused on nature, for instance, animals and plants, and usually start with a square paper sheet. However, both of them have the same purpose. That art was used only for ceremonial purposes in China. It becomes a popular hobby art in Japan. Then Japanese have developed these through centuries. Maybe that explanation is a bit too short and simple, but you will find well-documented blogs and websites with Google if you are curious to learn more about paper folding and origami. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Now I would like to share about tips and tricks to make an origami with more easy. Before doing origami, there are a few things to keep in mind. Using the tips and tricks will help you have a more enjoy and fun with origami and avoid any mistake. Firstly, choose suitable paper and cut to required form and size. But if you want it easy, you don't have to use regular colored paper that needs to be cut into shape square, but by a paper that is already reserved for origami, that not need to be cut like this. With this paper, the work of doing origami is fast and easy because the size of the shape is the same and we need to cut into a really squares. Besides that, to produce beautiful origami, we need to do it more soft and fold with clean hands because this origami paper is easily turned and does not become if doing with rock. Work on a hand surface so that all folds or creases can be executed with precision. Precision in fold or creases is achieved by moving your thumbnail sharply along all folds and creases. This makes later step much easier. The greater the excellence of a fold, the more beautiful the finishes work. Follow each step carefully and in the correct order given. That's all from me. And fine, origami should be relaxed and fine. If you find yourself getting frustrated, return to this tip and make sure you're following all instructions and your folds are clean to be a good origami. Thank you.